everybody, welcome back to my little kitchen, and today I'm going to make some southern collard greens, and this is pretty much how my mom made them, and we love them at our house. And my daughter, since she was a little girl, always called them gassy greens, but they're very good for you. And they're a little time consuming to make, just preparing them, but I'm going to prepare them today for Thanksgiving, and then I'm going to put them in the freezer, so that'll make it easier that day just to pull them out and throw them in the pan and heat them up. So in my big stock pan here, I've got a pound of bacon. So I just threw that in there. Sometimes I'll cut it up, but I want to render the fat off there. And I'm going to turn my pan on here, and then we'll get started preparing the collard greens. I bought 4 batches or bundles. They just come in like a little bundle like this. And I bought those, and now you have to, if you get them in a restaurant, they never cut the stem out. But you really want to get that stem out of there because it's tough. So I'll just lay it down. Sometimes I just go down like that with my knife here. We don't want to eat that stem. And this is the time-consuming part. And then I will, after I cut them, I will wash them. So I'm just going to continue doing that, as you can see. Just use a good knife, and I like a little paring knife for this, but whatever you like. So they look like very pretty collard greens. So we're just going to continue with that, and I'll be back to show you how I cut them. So now that I've got the stems cut out of a bunch of them, I'm just going to kind of pile them up. And then I'm going to roll them like this. And then I'm just going to take this bigger knife because I think it might be a little easier. And then you just cut them. Just like that. And I'm just going to put these in my bowl when I get a full bowl, I'll get them washed, and when my bacon gets all cooked out, I want to render all that fat out of there for the flavor. Just keep going here. Okay, so I have 2 bundles cut up, and I still have to wash them, so I'm going to get those washed, and we'll start putting them in with our bacon, which is pretty cooked off and got the fat kind of rendered off there. And I will just leave that bacon in the pan, and we'll start cooking the collard. Just get them rinsed in the colander really well. I just do little batches at a time and dump them in my pot there. I'm going to get the first colander of collards in here, and it is going to pop and sizzle because there's water, of course, in my collards where I've rinsed them. I've got it really turned down low though, and I'm going to get a cup of water in. We will add more water as we go, and we'll just keep rinsing and dumping. So I've got all my collards in my pot here, and I've got them on to simmer, and I'm going to put 1 gluten-free chicken bouillon in there. Of course, now it's time to doctor them up. We got to make them taste good, so taste better. We're going to put, and of course I don't really measure anything, but I'm just going to use this apple cider vinegar. You can put any kind of vinegar in them, and I don't know, maybe 1/4 cup, and we can always add more later. Of course, we've got to put some nature seasoning in them. And I'm not going to measure that either. I'm just going to give, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon. And once we taste them, we can always go back. I'm going to do some onion powder in them. And also some garlic powder. maybe maybe a tablespoon of each, or not quite a tablespoon of the garlic powder and the onion powder. Just gonna stir them really good. Now when my mother used to cook these, she always used a streak of lean and a streak of fat, and you just can't find that in the store anymore. So I use bacon. I really don't like salt pork. It's just too salty for me. But you could also use that or a ham hock to season them. But I just like the bacon in there. And they're just gonna continue to cook, and we'll give them a little taste and let them cool down and freeze them once they get done. We're also going to put 2 tablespoons of sugar in there. I don't think I'm going to use all that yet. So maybe a tablespoon and a half. And we're going to get a little pepper in there as well. Maybe a teaspoon. So my collards have cooked for a good 30 minutes or so, and they look done, and I tasted them a little bit. I put a little more nature seasoning and a little more garlic powder in them, and we're going to taste them again here. And then when they cool down, I'll go ahead and freeze them, and they'll be so much easier to just take out of the freezer and heat up. So if you like collards, there they are. You could put some hot sauce on them, or some more vinegar pepper sauce. I just like them just like this. They're pretty good. Well, thanks for watching, and if you like collards, I hope you give this a try, and you have a great day now. Bye-bye.